notifications has been deleted already. Well, we are off to see the wizard today. It's happy hour and the comms are all out. So I wore my Dorothy dress. We're off to see the wizard. You guys join us. Like, share the video for us, and jump in the live chat to join our great community, and give us all of your thoughts on what we're talking about. You can share links and chat it up. Let us know what's going on. Read the book. Get the knowledge from the source, like Westwood says. I'll be right back with my buddy Clint Westwood. Make sure you are wearing something red to remember everyone deployed. And we want to always honor our great military here in the USA. So see you guys, and grab a drink. I want to show you my Mom's Day cup. You're a great mom. The best. Everyone else is a loser. Believe me. Thanks, Zach and Kayla. Do you love my Mom in It Trump cup?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It cracked me up. So you're a really, really great mom. The best. Really terrific. Just fantastic. Other moms, losers.
Loser.
Totally disaster. Everyone.
Be a real mom.
Believe me, the best. You are the best. Believe me. So my son brought me those the other day. So it was very sweet. Brings me a Trump cup. He knows me. He knows my love language.
Speaking that language.
Mm-hmm. So
Speaking
sweet.
that happy hour language.
My happy hour love language. Very sweet. So many things going on. You know, my mind has just been like racing. Speaking of my love language, my comms language. I sent Jenny some texts, and I sent you some texts.
A few.
A few.
A couple, 2, 3.
So everybody, including me, I complain about bots. I think we all kind of and this whole AI thing. There was recently or today, there was a story that came out. They were talking about, first the story was that the military ran a program and the AI, I can't remember if they said it actually killed a person. And then they were like in a test and they were like, oh, no, we would never run that test. It was just a theory that the AI, it's taught to gamify things. So it is told to get points for killing these targets. And so the bot or the AI use the weapon or the drone to was supposed to get points to kill this thing, and then it's the way they have it set up now. A human has to always give the final, kill shot or the final call or whatever, so that a human is always responsible. You can't allow AI to have the final say in that. And so then it was like, oh no, it was just a scenario we were going through. And the scenario was that, well, if you did that, then the bot would outthink it and it would say, well, then we'll, because we'll want the points so much that we will get rid of the operations tower so that we can get the points, because we'll get rid of the person that tells us no, so that we can't get the points.
Yeah, we're trained to get points, and you're telling us we can't hit all the targets and get all the points. So we're going to take out that thing that's stopping us from getting the points that happens to be a real human being in a tower.
So I had a couple of thoughts on it. We know to watch out for these FFs right now as the dollar's dying. Today's the 1st. Second, sorry.
Lord. 1 + 1 is 2.
1 + 1 is 2.
That's in Washington. Then it's 4 trillion. It's saving you money.
Yeah, it's a good deal for somebody, huh? So, gosh, It's just so ridiculous. Just so ridiculous. So we're looking at okay.
Back it up.
The AI, I think that the timing of that and rolling that, there's all these threats right now. There's all these what if, the maybe, and they use multiple narratives. So I heard that was a what if. Okay, they could use that as a what if to keep us in our house. There's a new cough coming out.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Just in time. Yeah, just in time cough coming out. That's makes vulnerable to babies and old people. Connected with RSV, I believe, was the thing. And then what was the other one? I don't know. There were some other ones. Kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know.
What are your thoughts about them trying to lock everybody down again as all this goes on?
They're going to lock me in my backyard. I feel so terrible that would happen.
You like it. Yeah, I know.
I'm like, oh gosh, I can't leave the property. Yeah. Darn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, I mean, I shouldn't jest about it, but it comes down to, I talked about it a little bit today. I mean, you got to know where you want to be and know what you want to get, know how you want this thing to end up rather than waiting for them to make decisions. Because they'd love to lock us down. They wanted to lock us down the whole time. And you were talking about it, I think, on yesterday's show, to where the 16-year plan got derailed.
Right.
They wanted us to, be in this total police medical tyranny state to where they controlled everything and issued the narratives. And it's a 1984 scenario. Big Brother says this. Oh, this is happening. Come on. And that kind of got all messed up. And now you see the blowback of it to where people are kind of waking up and seeing it all and making decisions accordingly. And so I think that's what we got to do. I mean, okay, you're going to lock us down. All right, we're going to preempt that. And guess what? I'm going to, I don't know, just be unlockable. That's what you got to be.
Just say no.
It's basically it. Just say no. What are they going to do?
Yeah. We did that before, and we saw how they manipulated it and they abused it. And I think this time, it was the 2 weeks or the 10 days, or then it went into months. They destroyed small businesses. They romped on everyone's freedoms. And I was on a Spaces for a couple minutes until my phone freaked out and kicked me off with Rice and another friend, and we were talking about freedom of speech, and the Hunter files came out, or the laptop pictures finally.
Yeah, so they started releasing them all.
Yeah, they've been out. I mean, I don't know why they're saying they're out now. They haven't been in one
spot though. They haven't been in one spot where anybody could find them easily. It was kind of all over the place, and so I think just by putting them out in one spot, you're able to see them. Well, look what they do. The guy uploads them to a server, and then the server crashes.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was going to say, but now nobody can see them because they're, it keeps crashing. Yeah.
We need to bring back Napster to where we just stick it out there and we all just go download it. I mean, you just go grab it. As soon as it's out there, you start grabbing the files. And of course, then they'd show up at your door and say, well, you have pornography on your laptop. Wait a minute. I got it from his.
What I saw that, Laura, what's her name? I love her. That she's a great.
Is the fan a problem? I forgot to turn the fan off.
Can you hear it?
Okay. Right. A lot of hot air in here anyway, so it's hard to tell, right?
No, you're
blowing
fine.
Around.
They censored all the pictures. They took all the wieners out of it. All the genitalia has been removed.
All the Anthony Wieners. Don't forget about that laptop. I mean, that's another one that's, I mean, come on. DOJ's just sitting on.
Yeah, they're sitting on a lot of stuff. That's for sure. Yes, thank you, Tom. Please give us a like and share the video so we can get this out there. Yeah. Oh, well, and that's another video that came out today. Was it today or last night? I think it was last night because I think I shared it with the kids. Hold on. There is some of this, and I don't know if it's just not it's going on, but it's not being publicized, I'm sure, by our media. But there's some crazy. Hold on. Well, there's so many things going on. Hold on. Oh gosh, so much.
F around and find out.
Yeah, there's this. Oh gosh, and that. There is this video where this guy is talking about the Hillary frazzle drip thing.
Oh, really?
Literally in Congress, asking them about it, and then, I mean, I didn't go too far down the
What do you know
rabbit
about
hole
that,
on it.
Gary Gensler? Do you know anything about any payouts to make that happen, or get that?
Yeah, here, listen to this.
Today, do you know what frazzle drip is?
I'm not aware of the specifics about it. I heard some references about it from my team over the past 24 hours.
I just learned about it in the Washington Post this morning. There's an article with this headline: "A platform for free speech that extremists routinely exploit." And in it, the article explains that the recommendation engine for YouTube, which is owned by Google, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. The recommendation engine for YouTube recently suggested videos claiming that politicians, celebrities, and other elite figures were sexually abusing or consuming the remains of children, often in satanic rituals, according to watchdog group Algo Transparency. The claims echo and often cite the discredited Pizzagate conspiracy, which 2 years ago led to a man firing shots into a Northwest Washington, D.C. pizzeria in search of children.
Yeah, that's an old video.
Yeah, I mean,
that's been out there for a long time. That's what you've been talking about. All this has been out there. They've talked about it. They put it out there, and then they kind of squashed it and stopped.
And then nobody talks about it. But Taylor Swift can wear this thing out in public with this hat with children's faces on it, and people flock to go see her.
Or the meat suit by Lady Gaga. She can wear the
buy
meat
tickets.
suit.
Yeah, there's Lady Gaga in her meat suit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is wrong with people?
They think it's art. See, that's another thing. They hide a lot of this in the art. You look at the transportation of people moving art back and forth in crates. And what's in those crates, maybe. I don't know. Conspiracy theory, I'm sure. But a lot of okay, you got to look at it this way. The people that are carrying these things out are typically in elite circles. They're kind of eccentric, these people. They're into art. They're into collectible things. They're into things that are just, unique, weird stuff. And you look at Podesta's walls, everything that was hanging there. And you really start looking at it and you think, man, this is really strange. But then they say, oh, it's just art. Oh, okay, that's fine then. And so a lot of it gets hidden under the veil of art, or the umbrella of art, let's say. And that's, how they kind of get away with a lot of this stuff. The music industry, oh, it's just art, even though they're talking about these things. It's like, oh, no, it's just artistic expression. It's not real. Well, yeah, it is. They're talking about it.
Everything said in this video, I'm an artist, and everything said in this video is my artistic expression.
That's it. We're just expressing artistic fantasy expressions.
My artistic expression.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just what it is. And so that's a lot of times what they use is like covers everything. Everything's okay if it's art, right? Andy Warhol. Everything's okay if it's art. I mean, okay.
Well, we need more transparency so that everyone can choose for themselves. And that's what, it's been, this veil has been there for too long, whether it's, this video that's up right now that's talking about the truth about our birth certificates. There have been these, we're here from the government and we're here to help kind of thing, these protections for people, and somebody putting these things in place because, oh, well, they can't handle it, or these kind of things. And we've gone through this for so many years now, and I've had people tell me, oh, well, it would be too hard for people. They can't see it because it'd be too hard for people. Right. You know what? I'm sorry that's too hard for you, but can you imagine what it was like for the child that went through that?
Well, exactly. You got to look at the victims in this whole thing, people that have their rights violated.
It has to stop because of what happened, because of the most horrific thing that happened to the actual person. it has to be shown to everyone.
Right. And here's the thing, Lisa.
So that it will stop and never happen again.
No, I agree. And the thing is, most people, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of people, they'll just go on with their daily lives anyway, because you're just going to have that segment that just is like, oh, that's horrible. And they move on. But there's a segment of people that are kind of, you know, buying into it a little bit, the myth, the legend, you know, that, you know, oh, America's America, the ideal that we believe in, but it's really not that anymore. And so they're not really awake to it, and they just kind of go along. But there's that segment of people that will wake up when they see it, and they're like, okay, we got to do something about this. Whereas right now, they're just kind of blind to it because the media tells them, oh, it's conspiracy theory. That's not real.
Because they think not my kids.
It's not on
my
NBC
family,
News or CBS News, so it's not happening. And then, you know, and then they'll drip stories out somewhere else. Oh, it happened in Florida. It didn't happen here, you know, or it happened in a big city. And it's like, oh yeah, there are bad people out there, but it's like they don't understand the magnitude of the bad people and the damage that those people can do because they have power and they can cover things up like laptops.
Mm-hmm. And that's been going on for a long, long time.
Forever, because human beings are that way. There's those people who want to dominate other human beings, and you let them have positions of power. I mean, everything goes wrong. I mean, so yeah, let's just get it out there. Let's just show everything for what it is and be completely transparent. If you want to be evil and you think that's okay, and you think being a vampire is a cool thing, which some people do, then you be the vampire. But then on the other side of it, there's a lot of people with hammers and stakes, you know, and a lot of sunlight. So you want to go down that road? Let's do it. Let's just get it out there.
Somebody doing something about it was Daily Wire. Last night they released this video that they've been working on for quite a while called What is a Woman? It was immediately throttled. They attempted to release it on Twitter because supposedly that's the free speech platform. It was immediately throttled. So they went live on Twitter Spaces and started talking about it. And Elon jumped in, and I saw where the lady that made the decision, was in charge of making the decisions, was fired. Like within, I don't know if it was a half an hour.
Oh, on Twitter, the Twitter exec or whatever, the Twitter person. Okay. She
was fired. I posted it in there. I'm sure other people posted it in there. They noticed she was fired. They were like, okay, look, people are posting that she's been fired. We're going to try to post the movie. And they go to try to post the movie. It doesn't go live again. Finally, Elon jumps in and he's like helping to retweet it. And he's like,
he's saying, get Ron DeSantis out of the space. You're crashing it again.
And he says, every parent should watch this. And he gets behind it. And one thing my husband found, and which this is really interesting because, so you guys know I have a layer on Den Social. And if anybody wants to join, if you join Den Social, it doesn't cost anything. You sign up with an email. You can go make up a new email and make it whatever you want. And you can kind of be anonymous if you want, however you want to do it. Just takes an email so that you have a way to talk to customer service or whatever. Join, and if you make a comment, then on Fridays, in fact, we'll go check in here in a little bit, and I'll give some people lot, which gives you an ownership token so that you can, if we do a governance, if we have a vote, you can vote because you'll have ownership in the layer. But it's kind of like a DAO thing, but unofficially. We're still kind of playing around with it. We can kind of do whatever we want with it later. But one of the things I'd noticed on there, I was having trouble sharing my links for my videos on there. And they said, oh, well, you can't use the YouTube share link. You have to like actually start the video and use the URL like up.
Gotcha. So is YouTube censoring the ability to take that link or something?
Yes. And Twitter was kind of doing the same thing. You weren't able to use the share link inside Twitter, but my husband figured out once, because we already had the video playing.
Yeah, so copy like you said, the URL.
If you copied the original URL and shared that, if you were able to get it starting before it got cut, before it got chopped down, then you could share that original URL.
Yeah.
And so we were able to share the original URL. So I like got in the chat and I was telling people in the comments, I was like, hey, we have the original URL. If you share this, then you could do it that way. So there are some of these hacks I don't know if we're going to go through more of the censorship during this time, which I'm getting chills, during some time of darkness or what we're going to do. But we may need to have some of these tips, tricks that we can communicate with each other. But, and that may be
undocumented features.
Undocumented features. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But then Elon got behind it. Like I said, he said that, and he started looking up the research on the harm that comes because, they're saying they're pushing this gender reaffirmation or affirmation or whatever as only the positive thing because they don't have any studies, because they haven't done any studies on what the harmful effects are. And so then he starts looking at and has all this harmful effects. And he makes this statement where he's like, gathers all this information and people are sending him this information on the harmful effects of what these puberty blockers and all this stuff does. And he says, I am going to hold these people accountable publicly for the harmful effects on children and that are doing this to children. So that is kind of, this all goes back to the Mars thing, which was the title to this.
Yep.
So you guys know I've been seeing like umbrellas everywhere. We have like the umbrella thing, umbrella. Then you guys know about Starlink, and Starlink has been this satellite thing that's been put all over. We know Elon has military contracts. Well, recently a cult bot is one of the bots that I follow that I really like. So AI can be good or bad. It's a tool, just like a gun, just like an arm that can be used for good or evil, depending on the person that is using it. Depends on the intention and what it is going to be used for, right? So if we look at Starlink, if Starlink is the umbrella, is the Odin. Odin is okay. I'm
all right. Odin.
Help me unpack it, Westwood, because I'm so excited.
Odin is a Germanic god. Wotan, Wednesday, Odin. A lot of different names, and kind of. And once again, Germany. A lot of this stuff comes out of Germany. A lot of roots in Germany. Anyway, Odin stands for observe, detect, identify, neutralize. And this is a program that's in the U.S. Army started it, and it was a surveillance program. Primarily came out of the Middle Eastern wars. The guy under the guise of finding IEDs. What was it? Explosive device. What's the I? Anyway, the explosive device is blowing a lot of people up, losing their limbs. A lot of soldiers. So what happened is you've got these drones essentially that have the ability to, start mapping out the area and have visuals, and the cameras get better. And pretty soon, they're creating these surveillance systems to where, just like Odin, they want to be an all-seeing eye. They fly it like, they call it the mid-level. What do they call it? It's in the name. Medium altitude.
Mars, medium
altitude. And medium altitude, I looked it up, from what I can tell, is like 1,200 miles up. Satellites are like 23,000 miles up. And so this is kind of a mid-range. And what it does, it's a surveillance grid of these drones, and they want to get it to the point where, and they've improved it a great deal, to where they're scoping all these things out. They can map targets, and then boom, you can shoot missiles at them. And it started out just trying to find out, okay, there's movement here. We see people doing unorthodox things. They're planting these IEDs. Well, then, of course, like all weapons, they just get better and better, more destructive and more capable of destroying. And so what happens is, you've got a situation now where you've got these drones that can actually fire as well as surveil, and they're actually taking out people and not just mapping and looking for, the things they do. And so you're taking people out, and now you couple this with AI. Look out, holy cow, this is very dangerous stuff. You've got a total autonomous system up there making decisions, just like, hey, you're trying to stop us from doing what we're doing, we're going to destroy you, kind of thing. But it's this all-seeing eye, this godlike vision of covering the entire earth. Not as good and evil, again, like a weapon. It could be bad, and it could be used for, total surveillance, total, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. Why are you doing this? Boom, take them out. The algorithm says it because it's all automated. It's not, there's nobody flying them.
Has been doing videos. He said that there's been all these surveying flights that are unusual for this time of year, like an unusual number of surveillance flights for this time of year. I wonder if that's connected.
Don't know, but the concept and what you're trying to put together here is this Odin, this god, that's all-seeing God, and then it's coupled now somehow tied in with this Mars program, this medium altitude reconnaissance.
Westwood, on the Odin, the other thing is, how they talk about 10 days of darkness? Odin is often associated with the Hanged Man in the tarot card. According to legend, after hanging upside down from a tree for 9 days, Odin became the only person to understand the magical significance of each rune.
Runes,
a true rune master. Is that the 10 days?
I mean, it could be. It's like it's like in his case, in Odin's case, you look at it, it's 9 days of death. It's kind of inverted. There's a lot of symbology there. And then at that point, it went through some sort of transformation, apparently some epiphany or something, and now can understand the language of the runes. The Nazis were big into this stuff, the runes. They're Germanic occultic stuff. They were really into this. And so once again, you kind of see that history. That's why I say, a lot of things, the Illuminati, a lot of these things came out of the Schwarzwald, the dark forest, the Black Forest, in that whole Germanic thing. And it, and you see it pervading throughout our society in the intelligence industry, especially. And it's just, you start, you kind of, it gets creepy when you start looking at it. Why are they using these names? Why are they doing these things? And, what's the real, and so to me, it's all a spiritual war. It's all a thing to where they want to be able to control you at every level and take you out, and just total domination. And all the tools and all the weapons that they're putting in place, it can be scary. Now, flip that around. If the good guys control that, that's a whole different thing. It's just who's controlling it. Are you handing it over to something like an AI type thing? I mean, who's programming the AI? I mean, we're at this point to where I think it's decision time. And it's just like you said, enough people need to wake up to where this all goes the right path, the right timeline, versus the timeline that they want to put us on, and they're going to use all the dark money to do and raise the debt ceiling to continue to fund these things. It's kind of where we're at. I mean, we're in this battle to how's it going to turn out? You've got all these weapons. Which weapon's going to get used and for what purpose? Just my take on it.
Yeah. Well, and the debt ceiling thing, I'm really kind of torn on.
No, I agree with you.
Because I think in the Road to Ruta, like, the good guys go in and, we kind of need the destruction of the fern. Remember, it's not, because we want to go back to constitutional money. So that is part of the plan.
No, I would agree with you. I thought about that this week, and I remember Bix having videos where he's like, man, the only thing in it, Trump did a lot of good things. What I didn't like about him is he continued to perpetuate the bad system. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, counterpoint. That's kind of what you've always said, though. That's what's going to happen, is that we have to the only way to destroy it, because it's so big, is to just run that engine so hot that it melts. And there's a guy out there that was in the salt flats or something in the desert. He created his own car. It's kind of a meme now. And it's this old guy driving this go-kart with a souped up engine, these massive, exhaust pipes on the back. And he's got this camera and he's showing it, and they're just flaming red hot exhaust pipes. He gets done and the things are melted and they just fell off. And that's kind of what we have to do, I think. It's we got to run this thing so hard and hot so it just explodes and melts itself, because that's the only way to do it. Because, they're having these debates, these arguments of, we're going to save a little bit of money going forward. And, in 5 years, we could potentially have a balanced budget. We won't go into debt anymore. And it's what are we doing? It's already a lost cause. Let's just run it hot and blow the thing up, and then awaken to the fact that that's happening and pull your energy out of it while it's imploding and kind of restart over here, you know, in the transition while that thing falls. Hey, the Titanic's sinking. Get in a lifeboat and kind of row away from it, you know, while you can. And, you know.
Right. And right now, the American debt is the highest that it's ever been. So if Americans are in more debt than it's ever been, like,
the people.
And if we know that that's the system that's enslaved us, that there's nothing backing it, like, it's, at what point are you trying to save a burning building?
Right.
You know,
let it fall. Let it fall down.
Take the people and
exactly
get out.
Get as many people out. Hey, get up! Middle of the night, fire. It's a fire. You know, and they'll say, "Well, you're not a fireman. You can't wake them up." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I know what a fire is, so I don't need to be a fireman." But hey, wake up! Get out of that building! Get out of that building! It's like, no, I'm comfortable. I love my bed. No, I like the radio on. Like, no, I'm telling you, you got to get out. You're gonna burn up. I don't want to get out. Okay, fine. Next room. Hey, you need to wake up. Get out. And that's kind of how I feel my mission is. And you know, I think a lot of us feel that way. It's like, I know it's coming down. I don't know when it's coming down. I know it's going to come down at some point, though. Now, if they have explosive planted in there beforehand, it's probably going to come down sooner. I don't know. But if it just burns by itself, it's going to come down at some point. So our job, I think, is to, like, wake up, everybody. Let's get out of the building. Let me help you get out of the building and come over here. Might not be a nice building, but at least it's a building. At least we got something to work with. We got a good foundation over here on this side, and we can build it how we want to build it.
Well, and this is where I think this Mars thing ties into this, is that, you know, Elon is, everybody follows Elon, and he has a powerful voice. And if Mars, you know, he's talked about going to Mars, or us going to Mars. And, you know, if the Earth is burning, or we think we've destroyed the Earth or whatever, going to Mars, if Mars is the umbrella and Mars is the communication, and if the children are what wakes people up, and he's now made this statement that he's going to hold these people accountable, and if that is what wakes people up, then he has this communication tool. And he tweeted today X, which X is the company, which is the everything app, which is his dream of having Twitter be the everything app.
Always been his vision since day one. Since he got into PayPal and money, and he understands money. Don't think this guy does not understand everything about how this money works. He understands it probably more than anybody else. You look at his early interviews, he understood what money is and how it's important that it's not controlled, so that the people they can use it. You know, and so him talking about Dogecoin and you know, what he's doing now, and an interesting character. I don't know where he's at, but the thing is, he does understand how the money system works. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And the fact that he's bringing these things out, talking about these things, again, wakes people up. So there's a bigger plan at work. It's an X-file, giant X-file that he's revealing, you know, slowly and kind of dishing out to people, I think.
Yeah, and there were parents today in Hollywood, California, protesting a pride event at an elementary school. And so this is the kind of thing where people are waking up, you know, and it's about, like, you know, I don't care what two consenting adults do, but don't sexualize children.
Right.
Doesn't need to be targeted. You don't sexualize children. That's
even if it's heterosexual. You know what I mean? This whole thing. You don't see me going out saying, "Hey, little boy, little girl, you need to get together." You know, and it's like, why are we doing this? You know, I don't care. It's ridiculous. Let them, you know, grow up and mature and get to the point to where they can decide for themselves what they want to do.
Well, and that's where it's been such a slippery slope of, like, you know, Planned Parenthood coming into the schools. Oh, we're going to teach them safe sex.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to teach them, you know, about their body. And no, that's a family.
And along with that, you have choices, reproductive health choices, they call it. Reproductive health.
Right.
Well, it's not reproductive if you're doing what you're doing in the back room. That's not reproducing. That's like, you know, a whole different thing.
It's so dangerous. And that's when they start saying that your children are the state's children, which that goes back to, if you guys will watch this video about your what happened with your birth certificates. And
Yeah, they think they own you
yes,
because, they've done it, quote, legally, or not even legally. They've done it, but procedurally. And, well, your parents opted in by signing the certificate that they knew nothing about. They thought they were just giving you a name when you signed it, but we took it and filed it and, did a little blood test to make sure there's no diseases, put it on file in a big warehouse. So we've got all your DNA. We never volunteered on any of that. Our parents, didn't volunteer on that. They didn't know what they were doing.
No.
It's not informed consent. So
That is
F
not-
you.
yeah.
No, I ain't playing.
Yeah, I totally agree. This really was concerning to me as well. More of an issue where we need to protect our children. Here are some sweet little babies singing the Star Spangled Banner. And they were interrupted by the Capitol Police and told that it might offend someone. So they were stopped in the middle of singing the national anthem. Now in
look where they stop.
Like
home of the brave, land of the free. We're not going to sing that part.
Yeah. Now in opposition to this, there was half of the Congress standing out in front of the Capitol waving rainbow flags, not American flags. They aren't proud. They have pride. And once again, I don't care what two consenting adults do, but that does not represent every American. And when children can't sing our national anthem, that is just unbelievable to me. At the Capitol,
it's fun to go out and drink with gay guys. I've done it many times. I mean, they're very fun to be around. But
I just don't understand why somebody's
not going home with them.
Personal, like my marriage is what my husband and I do together is no one's business. It's intimate. It is personal. It's no one's business. It's not my identity. It is a intimate, personal relationship between two consenting adults, and it's no one's business.
Nope.
And that is not my identity.
Right. That's like their cult, their religion, though. And it's like, okay, so what's the real agenda? It's to normalize that behavior and normalize it at a young age to where, oh, okay, because I don't want to say a lot of them, because there's a faction, they're just like, no, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is our lifestyle. The thing is that and we don't like this,
the people that are gay should be really pissed off.
And a lot of them are, but they don't report on that, though.
The pedos that are trying to hijack the gay lifestyle and say that happening. Yes, if I was gay, I'd be pissed off.
I know
that pedos are trying to say that people that are gay are pedos, because that's not the case.
They get the reporting, they get the news, and you think, okay, well, why is the agenda to just report on this part of it but not that part of it? And then you look at the colors. You break down the colors of it. It used to be the rainbow. Now they're adding pastel blue, pastel pink. And those mean a whole different thing. You're getting into kids at that point. Yeah. And they're trying to normalize it and progress away from the original intent, trying to progress away from the original intent of it to normalize, well, this part too is okay. Maps are okay. Understand.
I would be really upset.
Absolutely.
I don't understand.
How much funding is going to get, for those types of things? Again, government funds those kinds of things. Government, if you go and look at budgets and you look at what they do, you start saying, why is the money going to these projects and these things? Is there a little bit of an echo or something going on?
I don't
Maybe
think
you got a window open or something?
Well, I did. I don't have my earpods in. I could put my earpods in. Hold on real quick.
It was just a big ruse so that now I can rant. Now that Lisa's gone. No, I'm just kidding. No, the whole thing, it's just, I make the analogy of, hey, you know what? I like whiskey and cigars, but you don't see me setting up shop in front of every major department store saying that, hey, as you come in, hey, kids, you want to enjoy a cigar with Big Daddy and, have some whiskey? I mean, come on. Now come over here and sit next to me. I'll get you a cigar. You know, I got a small one here I can give you. Yeah, toke on this. It's like, come on. You know, I enjoy it. I do it, but I'm not pushing it on anybody else. I wouldn't push it on anybody else. Unless you come to Westwood and it's like, hey, you want a cigar and some whiskey?
Yeah. Well,
but it's here. It's a choice. And you're an adult.
We're going to have cigars and whiskey and lots of fun stuff at Peoria Pizza Works, June 23rd, 3 o'clock till, I don't know, we'll probably close the place down. We're going to have a great time.
Whenever.
Yeah. But yeah, I think there's a lot of great things going on. This is like the near death of America, of our freedoms, and it's frustrating.
They just hit it with the defibrillator again, you know, just this week. They're like, hit it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did see some really interesting news I thought was positive. There was, where is it? They renamed Fort Bragg. Where is it? Am I going to find it? They renamed Fort Bragg today Fort Liberty.
Well, because brag is probably offensive to some people because, you know, if you're bragging.
It's a person's name.
I know. It's just, but that's the mentality, though. Not that that's what happened. I'm just drinking and talking.
No, I think it's a positive thing. So, where's my video? Because I thought this was cool.
Let me scroll through my feed 1 hour
later.
A
Story about it. It told the story about it. Let me find it. This is it. Okay. This talks about it. Okay, this is in on June 2nd, Fort Bragg, home of Airborne Special Ops Forces, went under a historic change. Established in 1918, Fort Bragg is one of 9 Army bases redesignated with a new name.
Does it start with an F?
What? Fort Bragg will now be called Fort Liberty in honor of the most essential value in the United States and its military. Liberty is the only base to be named after a value rather than a person. No value has proven more integral than to the United States in the history. I didn't read fast enough. Starting with the American Revolution, where patriots fought for liberty to direct their lives, the pursuit of their happiness, and representative democracy to guide their future. During the Civil War, this nation was reborn through the Army's battle for liberty. Today, liberty is a right of every person, and the military is committed to enforcing those rights and responsibilities. World War II, the U.S. Army, along with their sister services and allied governments, fought for liberty against the forces of fascism and liberated Western Europe and the Pacific. Today's liberty remains a central tenet of the Army's mission, and soldiers have, throughout the nation's history, secured liberty for all Americans and have expanded the idea throughout the world. Fort Liberty. Oh, that's cool. So they talk about.
I have a Liberty flag up here from Daddy-O, and then I got another Liberty flag that's going up over here. I got a black one and a blue one. Because y'all gonna get black and blue if you mess with Liberty.
That's right. So this says the sign changes, but the legacy of our paratroopers, special operations, and anyone else who has served there remains. Fort Bragg was redesignated as Fort Liberty. The name Liberty honors the heroism, sacrifices, and values of the U.S. Army soldiers, civilians, and families who live and serve there. So liberty is the right to move around, right? Is that what liberty means?
I'd have to look at the actual definition, but yeah, I would think that's a good definition. Free, sovereign, of sovereignty.
I'm trying to think of in the Constitution the right to liberty.
You got life,
liberty,
liberty, and there used to be property, but pursuit of happiness. And so liberty is just the freedom to, be who you are, I guess. You got the right not to be killed by somebody unjustly. You got the right to liberty, to be able to live impinged, you know, as long as you don't hurt anybody else. And you got the right to use those tools to, you know, be happy.
It's a right to unreasonable detention.
Right. Movement. That's what it is. You know, freedom of movement. You know, if you're detained, you're not able to freely move, you know.
So think about what we just went through. Interesting.
Loss of liberty.
As of today, they just renamed the Army Special Ops Fort Liberty, which is the only fort that's named after a value, not a person. And it's liberty, which protecting individuals' freedom from unreasonable detention. So the Army is ready to protect us from unreasonable detention.
And then you think about who are the people who are most unreasonably detained. Probably children, maybe. I don't know. I'm just out there on a limb. Watch it get sawed off behind me. Hit the ground again.
No, I think you've got a whole bunch of people behind you. I'm
be
really
hanging on a tree upside down
this.
for 9 days and find, you know, nirvana. And
yeah, I'm excited about this. I think that things are turning around.
Yeah, there are changes, and the thing is, it's nuanced, it's subtle, it's you know, like you look at these corporations, they have all these symbols that mean things. There are things also that are being changed that mean things. You know, I'm always curious about Space Force. You know, you're talking about Mars and what that means.
Yeah.
Elon talking about it. You know, Trump always made a big deal about Space Force, and they kind of poo-pooed it in this administration. And it just makes you wonder what's it really about? You know, what's the real motivation behind it?
It's about information.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what is it?
And freedom of speech, if you think about it. Now the way that we communicate is so much, well, and if our currency is digital, it's the way we move value too. So all of that would be under Space Force, right?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the goal, yeah. I just don't know. We're in the transition. We're in the mud, and it's hard to, you know, see what's going to happen. You know, moves and counter moves, right? That's kind of where we're at, in the middle of it. I got a Campanile. What is it? Campanile shoes. Got a pair of Campanile flip flops, you know, from Italy. They're pretty nice. Hopefully, they don't fall down in them.
Are those the ones that are like help you be grounded to the earth?
Now, apparently, you saw some of the shots of whoever it was that fell down at the U.S. Air Force ceremony, and you know, the big thing was, what kind of shoes are those? You know, what are those shoes? And somebody kind of came up with the consensus is that it's Campanile shoes from Italy, made in Naples, I think, Napoli or something. You got a foot shot of the president when he hit when he hit the. No, you don't have to. I don't know if there's any significance to it. There probably is, but it's just, what do you think about that whole thing falling down? I just wanted breakfast. Falling down, the movie. I just wanted breakfast. Remember that movie with Kirk? Was it Kirk Douglas? No, Kirk Douglas. Yeah, falling down. Oh, Campanile, Campinale. Campanile. I think I wrote it down. Yeah, ILE. Camp. Campanile. Those were the shoes he was wearing. INE. Campanile. But that's what it turns out he was wearing when he fell.
Why is that significant?
I don't know. I have no idea. Probably something to do with Vatican City. Hard to say. Italy.
Oh. They make the children's shoes.
I don't know. But
based in Naples,
right. Napoli. Yeah. Expensive shoes. Not that expensive, really. But you see how he got done and he did the whole, he's going to jog off. You know how he likes to act like he's going to start running and then, falls down. Tries to get up, collapses again. I mean, did it look like there was a sense of urgency by everybody there? It's like, oh my God.
So I talked about it yesterday with
know.
Johnny, and I said, if you look at everyone in the background, it was clearly a green screen because
Right. When he walked up, if you look at the footage, when he walked up, there's nobody in the stands. It was just like that cluster of people behind him directly for the camera. But you could see there's nobody else there.
And they don't have when someone falls in front of you, you have a response, a gut response.
Right.
Especially an elderly person. You would, you
like,
know.
oh, gosh, you know, who's the hip doctor?
No one's even paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like,
It's like, did it happen? I mean, did it happen there?
Well,
did it happen, you know, where was it? That kind of thing. Yeah, no, I get you.
Central
100%.
casting. Yeah.
Central casting. Right out of central casting.
Right out of central casting.
Yeah, so much of it's an illusion. So much is going to be an illusion going forward, especially with the AI stuff. Interesting that they roll it all out now and kind of get us ready for.
I couldn't believe how many copies of the White House there are.
Yeah,
just in the U.S.
Tyler Perry's got one in Atlanta that he, you know, has for whatever he
Kid
does.
Rock has the one in Nashville.
I mean,
that
Hollywood's probably got plenty
Telegram.
of them.
I'm sure Hollywood has some. Yeah.
Hard to say.
Oh, the other
really
part
happening.
of the Mars and Odin thing that I linked together today, I forgot to mention, Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse, the movie came out today. And if you look up Mars on Gematria, Spider-Verse is one of the responses. That's kind
what's
of
a Spider-Verse? You know, I started asking myself, what's a Spider-Verse? A world of spiders.
A world
what
of
do
web.
spiders do? You know, and what they make webs. The spiders, they kill little insects and trap things, and then they consume them. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot going on there with a spider. But yeah, it's all such.
And the other thing, if you
beyond
think about
reality,
the symbol of, where is it? If you think of the symbol that they're saying, like, instead of Pride Month or whatever, that make this Protect Children Month, and they're using a umbrella.
I saw that. That was a weird one.
And that could be the web, spider web, or the Mars Starlink umbrella.
I'm thinking what someone should do is take that image and rotate it and look at it at different angles. I mean, see if there's because I almost see a face. You know, it's like what else appears in that, but you see the dripping of the flag. It's almost like a lot of things associated with that dripping. You know, what is that? And I don't know. I mean, it's something to analyze. It's something somebody could go.
It's very interesting.
Do some research on. Yeah, it is an interesting post there.
Anyway, all of that was tying together for me.
And there's no mouth. It looks like there's two eyes, the heads. And then there might not be a mouth, like it's muzzled. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the cuff here. So, I don't know.
All things.
Lots of things. Everything's symbolism. They put it right in your face and you don't realize it. Go look at an Oreo cookie. That's a weird one to throw out there. Go look at an Oreo cookie and look at the symbols on it and Nabisco and what's that symbol? And you think, it's been there my whole life. I just never paid attention to it. And then you start looking at it in detail. Why are all these symbols and details on the top of an Oreo cookie? What does it mean? And so they put this stuff in your face all the time. And they'll talk about it too. But, you know, it's just the imagery. It's a language of symbols that they use subconsciously. And they put it out there. You know, the owl on the dollar bill. What's the owl stand for? I mean, just living in an illusion, and they put it in your face, and they're just trying to laugh at you and say, hey, we told you, you know, you volunteered in, you know, that's on you. And so we can do whatever we want to, you know, you're just, you know, voluntary slave, indentured servitude. You volunteered into it. Same thing.
Yeah.
Trying to get what? What do you get?
Well,
I get my freedom, right? I'm going to become a slave and then I'll get my freedom afterwards, right?
When I'm 70.
Maybe not.
Yeah, when I'm too old to enjoy
maybe
it.
Not so much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the same pattern repeated throughout history. You know, they just deceive you into getting into their system that they don't do any work for. They just set up the rules, and then they kind of don't tell you the whole rule. They don't tell you the whole game. You're playing it thinking you're doing the right thing, and it's like, well, wait a minute. What do you mean you raised the debt ceiling and there's $4 trillion more that you allocated for the next year and a half?
Mm-hmm.
I thought we're saving money. Well, we are saving money because we're going to raise it by 5, but now we're going to raise it by 4. So we're only going to go into debt $4 trillion more and screw you out of your wealth through inflation instead of 5. So we're really on your side. We got your back. You know, Kevin McCarthy, we got your back. It's the best thing ever. He's like that slick insurance salesman, you know, car salesman, no offense, but I mean the stereotypical, you know, that lawyer, you know, that image of that, you know, just, you know, he's lying to you, you know, but he's really presentable about it. And you're like,
but the thing is this, the fact that we ask someone else for our freedom,
right,
that's where we lose.
Right. You
the
lost.
minute that you're asking someone else, why would we put another human? That is one of my biggest lessons in life. That is the golden calf, the idol that you place between you and God, your creator.
Right. You don't
the
know
universe,
who you are.
whatever you want to call it.
Person to tell
Stop
you how you are,
asking someone else for permission.
No
Free men
middleman.
don't ask for permission.
Right.
Stop asking someone else to tell you who you are.
That Sasquatch is not asking for permission out in the woods to do what he does.
Yeah.
He ain't doing it.
Crazy.
He ain't doing it.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And you get near me, you're going to try and tell me what to do. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
Ain't going to happen.
I'm
saying. No, you're right. Cut out the middleman. That's why we're in crypto. Cut out the middleman. We don't need all the fat. Cut it out. There's no reason for having any of that stuff. I'm going over here. You play with your typewriters, right?
That's right.
I'm done with it. I'm not going to use that anymore because I don't need to. So, you know, have fun. Right. Do all you want to do. Change the keys, rearrange it, you know, whatever.
Make all the rules for typewriters you want.
Have fun.
Yeah. I saw Nick Morgan from ICANN posted today that the SEC investigated themselves and admitted that they shared a bunch of information in our office that they shouldn't have been sharing. But, you know, they posted that they admitted that they did it. So they're sorry.
Yeah. Anyway. Again, you know, I take full responsibility. And then nothing happens. I love that when the CEO say, well, I take full responsibility for all this. Yeah, but people died and they lost their homes, you know, and this and that. And it's like, yeah, I take full responsibility. And okay, that's okay then. All right. Sorry we questioned you. We'll give you a couple $1,000,000, make it right. Okay, it's all good. Just like the Ring doorbells, you saw that?
Oh, Amazon. I saw that.
We all knew it, but we put them up anyway. And the next thing you know, it's like, yeah, they did have access to all the stuff, you know. So if you're like out,
not just their staff, all their staff members.
Somebody that they hire off the street that who knows who it is, and you know, so they can sell that information to your neighbor or something,
friends, anybody could have been looking at your children,
right out the front yard. Hey, here's the
scoping
address.
Your house,
looking
at
a lot
your
of packages. You might want to do a little pirate,
they know
porch pirate thing. You know.
Your packages were arriving. They can come pick up your stuff, whatever. Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You got to realize you're living in a technological age. Everything is archived. Everything. These phones, I mean, you see it with the advertising. You talk about something and boom, it shows up in your feed. They are listening to everything. They just haven't been caught and sued yet and made them pay damages. And that's all they're going to do. They're just going to pay you in dirty fiat and say, it's okay, go away. It's like farms
that
around
9/11 thing, the cost of a life or whatever. There's a documentary where they
what's the cost?
For years they've already done this. The companies, they have a problem come up and they calculate how many dead bodies are we gonna have to pay for.
Right.
And then they say, you know what, we're okay with that. And they go ahead and build the thing broken, knowing they're gonna have to pay for so many lives, and it's okay with them.
There's documentaries about car companies, and I can't think of the exact one, but it's like, yeah, it's defective. We're going to continue making that line of cars, though, because we know at some point, there's going to be some people that die because the thing rolls over. But, I mean, we're going to sell this many cars. We got it projected out. AI is going to do all this in the future. And see, that's where it gets crazy. They're going to project it out and say, okay, well, hey, we got this new car. It's got batteries. Sometimes the batteries catch on fire. You know, it blows up and the person can't get out because, you know, the electronics don't work. The seatbelt won't come off. You know what happens. And so they say, yeah, but we're going to make a lot of money on this because we got all this government money coming in and we can sell the cars for this much. We project this is how many we're going to sell. We're going to make this amount of money. We're going to get this many bonuses through the quarter, shares, and all this. So I'll end up making probably, $15 million in that 5-year period. You're going to make this much. You're going to make that much. And our damages that we're going to have, the company's going to eat it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and make the cars, even though there's going to be a calculated, 17 people that die. It's worth the risk. It's a cost of doing business. We're making an omelet here, so we got to break these eggs, a couple dozen. Yeah, what's the big deal? And that's what they do. And that's the reality of it. And you realize when you got these vampires running stuff, that's what they do. They don't care about you. It's all about numbers because you're just a number. You're part of the ant farm. Oh, that ant got killed. Whatever. I stepped on it. Whatever. There's a lot more ants. Whatever. We're good.
Yeah. Speaking of driving in cars, hopefully you're safe driving in the car. But I did want to bring up, you guys can go to likequenlisa.net or clintwestwood.net and check out the Happy Hour Roadshow. We are going to be hitting the road, going to right about here in Illinois. Peoria Works.
Peoria, Illinois. A couple of good Native American names.
Yeah. Oh, their page isn't coming up. Hold on.
Well, go look at my website. It's got the address. I'll have to talk to you about
I
their
did.
website. Hey, they're all about slinging drinks and making pizza. The website thing.
Yeah.
So much.
I'll have to update their page on my page. But yeah, go to Clint Westwood's then because I got to update theirs on mine.
Well, they probably got banned because they're hosting us. They probably got shadow banned.
June 23rd at
the last time you people are coming here.
Yeah, they're going to kick us out. That's all right.
We're going to bring people in.
We get kicked out.
We're going to
then we're going
fall down.
Be at Silver Symposium.
I like how she says we.
Yep. You're going to. Because we're going to be streaming the show live.
What is this?
From Vegas.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And Bix is going to be there. There's a link in the description to get your tickets. And it'll be fun. Going to be a great time. So everybody, when you buy your ticket,
I know the Rand is going. I saw he posted that he bought his ticket. So I know he's going.
Yeah, you get a silver round.
He likes silver.
With your ticket. So like I think the base ticket price is like $89 and you get a silver 1 ounce coin. So heck, silver might be $89 by
or it might be $19. It doesn't matter. You'll still have the silver in your possession. Better than having Federal Reserve notes in your possession, because if you had $20 in 1964, what's that $20 buy you now? But if you'd had $20 in coins in 1964 that had silver in them, what's that worth now? A whole heck of a lot, 20 times or 20x, because you had sound money then.
BRICS sign up. I have heard that another like 30 nations joined the other day. So that's pretty exciting. I think that's going to be
here. I'm going to play the devil's advocate. All right. Because, this is like everybody that wants to come to a meetup. They're like, well, who's going to be there? Lisa, who's going to be at the Silver Symposium besides Bix and you? And not Westwood.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, who's going to be there?
There's a whole list. Hold on.
Well, come on. Well, tell me, who's going to be there? I'm spending all this money.
Here.
Who's going to be there?
Hold on. Look, some of these people.
I can't see.
Andy. Oh, okay. There's Andy. There's David Morgan.
Andy Schechtman?
Manarino. There's Ninja.
David Manarino, the one guy that Ben likes.
Yeah.
Buddies with. David Morgan, the silver guru.
Yes, there's Manarino, there's Economic Ninja.
Never heard of him.
I don't know who this little guy is. I don't know who that guy is.
Never heard of him.
G. Edward Griffin is going to be there from
the creature from Jekyll Island. Read that book. That'll tell you all about what's going on. And how the money
Divvy Daddy is going to be there.
The Divvy Daddy.
The Divvy Daddy will be there. Where's a picture of him? There's not a picture
Divvy
of him.
Daddy's. There's some history there. There's some history there. He's done a lot of things. He's
a great guy.
He's a very nice guy.
Yeah,
he
and I met.
I like him.
I
love.
There was a challenge that we both were facing, and there was like a moral kind of, or a kind of an issue that we bumped up into, and we both kind of landed on the same side of the fence. And I have a lot of respect for him because of that. And he's
I just go
been
through
a
the
really
fence.
good friend to me. Yeah.
No, he is a good guy.
Yeah.
Give him many. I've given him many hugs.
Yes,
It's true.
he's a great guy.
It's a true thing.
Good human for sure. So yeah, I'm excited about this.
There are
one.
a lot of good people there. I have to convince. My situation is that's going to be like my daughter's birthday. My wife and I, our 20th anniversary that week, and I mean it's like right there. So we'll see. Bring her along. Yeah, I hear you already.
There you go. I love your wife. I would love for
I
her to
know,
be there
and I'm
with
like,
us.
she'd love to go to Vegas, and I'm like,
Yes, we'll go shopping. We'll have a
Don't-
wonderful time.
here's
She's a
the thing.
great shopper.
Lisa,
I
do
know.
not text my wife.
I have her number.
Do not text my wife because I'll end up going to Vegas, and I'll be like,
Yeah,
on effing Vegas.
we'll have a great time. I'm not.
And there are
worried about
direct
it.
flights out of Peoria, which just
There you go.
I don't want to fly. I
Done
don't
and
want to go
done.
to Vegas. I don't want to
Yeah.
fly. I love. What am I going to do with the dogs? What do I do with the dogs? I don't know what am I supposed to do? What am I doing?
Well, I think your oldest can watch them.
She'll be in college. She won't be home.
Oh,
Yeah.
your
she's gone.
mom loves dogs.
Yeah, but she doesn't want to have them in her house.
Oh, well,
I know.
you
It's
have a neighbor. Maybe he'll be
I don't
home.
have a neighbor. He's never home.
Well, he would be in Vegas with us, though.
Right, he's gone all the
probably.
time. I'm
Yeah.
looking at the grass growing. I'm like,
Yeah. I have some more good news.
Lisa
Oh,
just brushes by it because she's like, he's gone.
I'm not dealing with it. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I got you.
This was-
Come on.
Yeah, this was interesting to me. Did you watch that thing about California?
I tried to watch it when I was leading
I tried
up
to
to the
watch a little
show.
bit of it. Yeah,
You told me to watch it at 198 or 168, 158, 158.
158
And
on.
I tried to
'cause I
watch
just-
it, and I was going like this, and it kept skipping to 218. I'm like, F it, I'm done because I don't have
Oh,
time
really?
right now. No.
Yeah,
so you
Rumble
play it,
is
play it,
difficult, and it really
Play it.
jumps.
Play it for like 1 minute.
I'll play just for a minute
Yeah,
because
so-
it's
yeah.
they're older and they are challenged with their Zoom call and wrangling their room. So it's not the most fun thing to
That's
watch.
the information, though. It's the information.
Okay. Okay. And Rumble is
Now I don't have to watch it later. I'll watch it later.
difficult to
See, that's
follow.
exactly that was my experience. Polly says, "Hell no." Thank you, Polly. I love you.
I would like to know, Paul, if we can do petitions for the sheriffs
Hold
to
it,
protect the children.
whoa. This action right now is only meant for the assembly members and senators. I'm going to get to the public in a second, okay?
You can't
Hold
just
up.
talk.
Okay.
in it.
This is
Sorry.
right. I'm sorry. I should have set the groundworks
Mute.
up here first because it's hard for me to switch back and forth. And just now thinking about it. Anyway, Senator McBride is going to be doing this, and it's going to be a joint effort by the Assembly, and so the Assembly and Senate will be teaming together. Josh Disney will be taking care of the Assembly side, and it will only come from the Assembly and Senators. There you go. So I got it right. Okay.
And then I can't see who's raising their hands. So
First person is Bill Grandin.
Senator Brandon, what would you recommend?
Thank you. I'm getting back to the video we watched of Siskiyou County. Law enforcement, to me, it needs to be really bolstered up, and I'm all for putting every effort into stopping that criminal activity up there in his county. Whatever we can do to take that to the length, I'd be for. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Brandon. Anybody else?
Let's go, Brandon.
Now it's me, Terry. Liz.
Secretary of State. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Am I allowed to say something?
Yes.
I don't know. That's up to Paul.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Executive. Yes.
I would like to see us go through the existing laws and identify unconstitutional laws and then remove them. Or restructure the law so that it is constitutional.
Done.
Okay. And then the other is to reestablish the Constitution of 1849 and adopted resolutions rather than just mention it. I would like it as a part of our work list.
Well, a point of clarity is that the first time we ever met, we adopted the 1849 Constitution. That was our very first thing. So it has been done in that capacity. We want to make sure it continues in the next capacity.
Okay.
I'm not sure who the sound is coming from, but
I got it, Liz.
okay, thank you. All right, that I could hog this, but I'm not going to do that, so I'll stop.
Assembly Member Philip Galanders.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. With regard to the border,
Okay. I won't go on and on, but people can watch it.
So what's the point? Let's get
So
to
the point
nutshell
is, I don't know who these people are.
Are they talking about California's
It is
constitution and how it's
California.
not being abided by?
It looks like they have somehow, it is a group that is making an effort to reorganize California, and they are trying to reorganize under the Constitution from 1849.
Really, that's interesting.
I don't know
That's an interesting
who
date for California, though, because 1849 is when they had an influx of people coming to California. Tens of thousands of people looking for gold in California in 1849. So they probably did. I don't know the history of it. Benny, we're going to talk
How
about
do you
this
not
on
know the
Spaces.
history of this? That's what I thought.
California?
You would maybe know this.
It's the left coast. Why do I care?
Okay,
They're going to fall off in an earthquake. Whatever. New Badger, it drowns me. You know what I mean?
The 1849 USA.
But 1849 is a big date. The 49ers. That's where the San Francisco football team comes from. The 49ers, 1849. All the people coming out there looking for gold. If you're not on Twitter, you got to get a Twitter account because Lisa has scheduled a space, just like she scheduled a flight for me and probably my wife now to go out to Las Vegas. But 7 o'clock tonight on Twitter, we're going to be live on Spaces, and we'll talk about all this stuff, uncensored, because Elon says, hey, talk about whatever you want. So that's what we're going to do. You can chime in. You can grab the microphone. We'll talk about all these things. But the point is, break it down, Lisa. Break it down one time. Lisa's this way.
I'm really not 100% sure, and so that's why I'm wanting more information. I sent it to you. I haven't had a chance because I just got this. I just ran across this today and kind of later in the day, and so I've heard there's a group in Texas. There's a couple groups in some of the freedom movement that are kind of going to this American common law that are looking at restructuring. You've heard of the divorce. I can't remember who wrote that book.
Secession? Should I say?
It's like The Great Divorce or something like that, or is that a separate thing?
See, in the past, you and Sean talked about this Tuesday. We had a secession. The states seceded from the Union.
Right.
Said, all right, I'm done. And then the Union came in, Lincoln came in and said, no, you didn't. You're not doing that. No, get back. No. Get back in. Come on. You're back in here. You agreed that we were going to play this game together. It's like, no, we didn't agree to play by these rules. You guys are changing things up. We're out. No, you're not. We're going to come use force. And we're going to, we make all the bullets. We make all the guns. We're the industry. And it's like, no, we're farmers. We're going to do what we want. It's our land. We're going to do our thing. And then, you fought it out and brother against brother, all that stuff. Illinois, if you look at Illinois, want some history. Illinois is a long state, north to south. look at the southern tip of Illinois and where that ends up on the map. I mean, you're in the South. I mean, you're in Kentucky. You're touching Tennessee. I mean, you're right there in the South. And so, but then you go upstate, Chicago, and, you know, the urban industrial belt. So you had a split. And so when you're talking brother against brother, yeah. I mean, as it comes down, you're butting heads or different philosophies. You know, it's the rural agrarian production of food,
Right.
you know, mentality versus the, hey, we're going to produce things, but it's going to be industrialized. It's going to be this. It's going to be part of a system. And so, you know, there's a lot of factions in that. And so in the Civil War, I mean, it wasn't a blue state. It wasn't a red state. It was mixed. And to this day, it's still mixed because, you know, all the populations in Chicago, and you got Saul Alinsky, and you got Obama, you got Clintons, you got all those people up there, you know, basically hijacking the whole real estate of the state through the votes. But man, I'll tell you what, most of the people are like, just leave me alone. Let me do my thing. And I look at, you know, I go out in the backyard and I'm like, holy cow, you guys planted all this? My parents, you know, I didn't even plant a seed this year. And I go back there walking the dogs. And I'm like, holy crap, look at all this stuff coming up. They're out there working all the time, you know, doing stuff. And, you know, got the shower all wrapped and, you know, the outdoor shower for the stuff. But, you know, they're constantly doing things. And it's just like the motivation, they're retired and they're like, oh, they could be sitting around watching TV. They could be sitting around doing this and that. But what do? They want to work the land. They want to produce things. They want to be productive. And they want to make real things. And so you've got that philosophy, that mentality, that people who live on the land, and that's what Jefferson always said, we need to have a nation of farmers and self-sufficient, self-subsisting farmers. And now I'm just going into a whole bunch of stuff. We got to go into spaces. It's 7:00,
Yeah,
and we'll talk about
we'll
all this
do
stuff.
that.
I don't want to drag this on because
I know.
it's
Well,
a fundamental
and that's-
mentality thing. You know, it's not me against you.
And
it's
we used
just
to have like the victory garden and the
right.
community and yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about
It's-
it on spaces. So you
we'll talk
got to
about it on
go
Spaces.
follow. If you don't have a Twitter account, make a Twitter account and just, you know, make a bogus Twitter account, whatever it is, so that you can get on the platform and you can follow Litecoin Lisa. And you got to hit the little notification bell. So when she puts out a tweet, you know, between now and then, she'll probably only put out like 27 tweets. And but you're looking for the one tweet when she goes live on Spaces because she's got it ready to go at 7:00. And we'll talk about all these things. Yeah, and we'll talk about all these things, and you know, we'll get into this a lot more in depth. We'll plow that down a little bit and plant some seeds.
It will be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do need a refill Fever Flav. I called him Flava Flav.
The Flava Flav. No, I'm gonna be playing a little Flava Flav after we get off of this because we can't play it on YouTube because I can't even sing on
All the
YouTube,
rules.
and I can't
Yeah.
sing. And then they
So
demonetized
there was
Lisa's
a
channel.
family arrested today in North Korea for them reading the Bible
going
and their
down.
toddler taken away from them. And then there were military exercises on the border of North Korea and South Korea today. And that's where I'm just like, things are happening. So, and tomorrow's the 9th. I've been seeing 9s everywhere as well.
What?
So
The
good
9th.
stuff.
What are you talking about? The 9th
Isn't
of
it
what?
The 3rd.
So you said it was the 1st today. I said it was the 2nd.
I don't know what
Tomorrow
day it
is
is.
the 3rd.
The
You're
9th is a thing. That's next Friday. Okay. We might have to wait a whole other week.
I know.
Have to wait a whole other week.
You're like, I
I'm
can't
all
wait
over
to
the
get to
place.
see Clint Westwood June 23rd in
Oh
Peoria,
no,
Illinois.
Charlie was so excited. He was like, "Oh,
hurry up.
today's the 1st." He's like, "We only have like 20 something more days
Countdown.
till Westwood's." Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
He's
Westwood advent calendar. You know, you tear off the day. There's a different cigar and a different type of drink every day. You're like, oh yeah, we're getting closer.
Yes. I can't wait. All right. Well, we'll see you guys tonight, or we'll hear you guys tonight on Twitter Spaces, and we'll see you at Westwood's in Peoria, at Peoria Pizza Works in Illinois on June 23rd.
June 23rd. Trust yourselves. Don't trust the vampires. I mean that. I mean, that's what they are. They're vampires. I mean, you expose them by bringing the light of truth on these people. And yeah, I'm going to buy a lighthouse or get one for free. I saw your tweet.
You saw my tweet about the free lighthouses?
I'm telling you, If we had water around here, I'd be getting me a lighthouse. But instead, I might have to find a carpenter somewhere. I don't know where he's at, but find a carpenter to build me a lighthouse here. But come to Peoria, Illinois. It's going to be the lighthouse on June 23rd. And I'm spreading that beam out there, the Litecoin lighthouse. And you come to Peoria, you know nothing about crypto. Come down from Chicago, Cook County. Come from all over the Midwest. Come from all over the place. Come from Florida, wherever it is. I don't care how good round DeSantis is. You get to Peoria, Illinois. You come into behind enemy lines, and I'm going to send you sound money for the digital age. I am going to help you open up a wallet. I'm going to help you get into crypto so that you can take your energy and put it into something that has value, that you control. Nobody can stop you from using it. And you're going to walk away saying, wow, I'm glad I came, because nobody else is talking about this stuff where I'm at. Don't let Rome burn.
Hug.
And you're going to get a Westwood hug. Maybe a couple two tree. Buy me a drink. You might get bonus hugs. I don't know. You never know.
All right. We'll see you guys tonight. Hear you guys tonight on Twitter Spaces. Sign up, follow Westwood and I, and we're out. See ya.